Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Open Top Bus Parade is going to happen after all. It is going to be liaised with the Town Moor event, of course, on Saturday. This is brilliant news. Absolutely brilliant news. Newcastle United announced this last night, and basically, I think they've listened to the fans. I genuinely do, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But they are going to now do a bus parade from, I believe, St James's Park to the Town Moor. It's going to be lined with hundreds of thousands of fans. There's no doubt about it. They're expecting huge numbers, and the Town Moor event will be happening as well. So fans get a bit of both. And look, I really felt for the fans when they said they weren't going to do an open top bus parade because, you know, I've seen it before. When you just line the streets, loads of families and kids get to see their heroes and see the cup winners, and they get to wave at the players and sing at the players and get a wave back. There's that little bit of interaction and memories that last an absolute lifetime. So for me, I'm absolutely delighted as a fan that they're going to be doing this. But there's an issue going around on social media, or not really an issue, melons on social media saying, oh, Newcastle fans, some of them whinging again, look at it now, you know, if they'd just be patient. Well, I'll tell you what, I think it was actually Newcastle United that listened to the outcry of the fans when it was announced that they were doing the Town Moor event. I believe they've listened to the outcry and they've gone back to the authorities and discussed it more. And finally, we've got a bus parade to go alongside the Town Moor event. I may be wrong. Listen, this is just my opinion. But if Newcastle United were originally going to do a bus parade and it was turned down, that's why it's now at the Town Moor, and that's why it wasn't announced at the time. I think the authorities have turned around and said, no bus parade, but we'll do an event on the Town Moor. Newcastle liaised with them, and that's what they agreed on. But I now genuinely believe that Newcastle United have listened to the fans and they've gone back to the authorities and said, look, there's thousands of people wanting to turn up. We have to do something here for the fans. And eventually, it's all been worked out. Now, it is a little bit late. I acknowledge that for some fans who live far and wide away, who were planning on originally coming. But now the time frame is just too slim to arrange travel, accommodation, etc. So I do feel for them fans. Absolutely. However, the fans that can go, it's going to be a massive occasion, an absolutely massive occasion where you're going to see families on the streets waving at the players, and it's just going to be incredible. I've seen bus parades before for Newcastle when we failed to win the FA Cup. That was a bit of a strange one, but thousands turned up for that. There's just an incredible atmosphere when you get these things happening. And let's be fair, we haven't won a domestic trophy for 70 years. Boy, are we entitled to celebrate it, and celebrate it massively with our players. No doubt about it. So I'm absolutely delighted, and well done to Newcastle United. If that is the case, that they have seen the outcry from the fans and they've gone back to the authorities, I think that's excellent from the football club. Because I genuinely believe that Newcastle United originally wanted an open-top bus parade, but the powers that be said no, and then they had to do the Town Moor. I really do believe that, because an open-top bus parade, if they were given a go-ahead originally, that's what it would have been. But now there's a huge event on the Town Moor, but we get the open-top bus parade as well. And I think it's fantastic news for everyone, so that Newcastle can go and see them. Now, the times have been announced by Newcastle. The council have confirmed that the parade will take place from St James's Park through the city centre and to the Town Moor, and that will happen between 4 and 6 p.m. on Saturday. The bus is due to leave the stadium heading towards Gallowgate, turn onto Percy Street, head onto the B1318 Great North Road in the direction of Gosforth before stopping at the Town Moor. Now, obviously, that's going to involve a number of road closures. People are going to have their walking boots on, without a shadow of a doubt, because if people are travelling in on the train, whatever. But look, not everybody is going to go to the Town Moor, are they? They're going to go to where the bus route is, a lot of them, because a lot of fans on the feedback said that we want to see an open-top bus parade, so there'll be thousands lining those streets. Absolutely brilliant. So, listen, the Town Moor event's still happening as well, so that's going to be an incredible day, Now, one former player who showed his delight, without a shadow of a doubt, that was watching the game, was Mr. Alan Shearer, of course, who is still literally celebrating Newcastle United's trophy win. He was on the podcast with Gary Lineker and Micah Richards talking about the event on Saturday, and he says, I'll be on the Town Moor. I'm not sure I'll be on the open top. He said, I didn't do anything, but I might be on the Town Moor. Definitely, yeah. And of course, Micah Richards went into a frenzy, questioning why Shearer was celebrating the match or the win so much. And he says, hold on, you didn't win anything. You've been milking it for the last week, Richards said. I've seen videos on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. What are you talking about? Shearer snapped back and said, yeah, but I can't be on the bus when they've done it and gone and won it. I won't be on the bus, but I'll definitely be on the Town Moor somewhere. So, listen, the fact is, I don't think Alan Shearer will be the only former player that is going to turn up to the Town Moor, by the way. I think there'll be not hundreds, but a few ex-players who will be on that Town Moor to celebrate the moment with the fans. So if you are lucky enough to get onto the Town Moor, expect to see a few familiar faces kicking around celebrating the win with the fans. It's going to be an incredible day. So keep your eye open for the legend that is Mr. Alan Shearer, who will be kicking about the Town Moor on Saturday. Now, a little bit of transfer news. Jonathan David, of course, who is a long-term, a long-term target of Newcastle United, isn't he? We know that we've been scouting him for a long time now. He's a very, very good player, and he is expected to leave the French league in the summer, of course. Now, look, Lille are kind of leaving this down to Jonathan David, and they know his contract is running out. There is no indication at all that he is going to sign a new contract with Lille. Absolutely none at all. But there is a number of clubs after him, and you can obviously expect that. Newcastle United is certainly one of the clubs, but I think in reality, to get a player like Jonathan David, we need to be in the Champions League. Now, I know we're in Europe. Newcastle United, according to the report, may come back to Jonathan David and say, look, take Isak, for example. You know, look what we've made Isak. He's become an absolute monster in the Premier League. He's come into the league and he's firing all cylinders. This is what you could be, following the footsteps kind of thing, because he's only 25-year-old and he's got a lot to offer, guys. A lot to offer. He's rapid. He's a great player. But the question is, where would we play him? Because I don't think a player like Jonathan David is going to come in and play second fiddle to Isak. So there's all that to discuss as well, isn't there? He's a free transfer, which is huge. But because he's a free transfer, that obviously alerts other clubs, pricks their ears up and say, hang on a minute, Jonathan David, this is a chance to bring in a very, very good player for nothing. We can give him extra wages as well because, and a bigger signing on fee because we're not paying a fee for the player. We know how free transfers work. And that would be the case with Jonathan David. So there is a lot of clubs across Europe interested in him. And of course, the big boys are in there as well. Liverpool have been mentioned. Bayern Munich. Of course, Barcelona have been mentioned as well. But look, Tottenham as well. But I don't think Tottenham have a chance of getting them, to be honest. They're not going to have any European football next season. So they're going to have a real battle on their hands to bring somebody in like Jonathan David. But he's kept very quiet on his future. But he did do an interview while away with Canada saying, obviously with this summer going on, I'm not sure if I'm staying or going. But if I do end up going, I have to push myself at the very highest level. So obviously he's going to want to go to a league that is an elite league. And of course the Premier League is certainly one of those elite leagues. No doubt about it. He said, when you play for a big club, your position's never guaranteed and you need to fight. I am never guaranteed anywhere I go to start every game and play every game. I have to perform. I'm willing to fight. I know it's important. Yeah, it's a big decision and I will make a wise decision. So he talks very sensibly, doesn't he? And he sounds like the kind of player that Eddie Howe would really like to work with. Good work attitude, good work ethic, everything that sort of goes into one with, Callum Wilson expected to leave because I think if we offer him a new contract, I will literally pass out with rage. So I don't think that's going to happen. But look, Jonathan David is certainly one to keep an eye on. Now, finally, and get ready to get annoyed again, guys, because we're going into the Isak situation again. And yet more pundits have come out and expressed about Alexander Isak and, of course, a swap deal at Liverpool. This is driving me friggin' nuts, to be honest. And again, it's this swap deal regarding Darwin Nunez. Now, listen, Nunez is a talented player. He was a very talented player before he signed for Liverpool, but he is prone to missing a lot of chances. He's rapid, he's fast, he's a very, very good player. But again, this time it's Stan Collymore who's come out and said about Isak to Liverpool, would be a great deal for both clubs, because Newcastle United, especially if they don't qualify for the Champions League, may need to do such a deal for FFP restrictions. Now, look, he might be right on that. He might be right on the FFP stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes and the money-wise with Newcastle. I believe that we've sorted all that out and that's a thing of the past. And that's why Newcastle United are looking to spend money. And, of course, Darren Eales has already stated, and the chairman, that we will rebuff anything for Alexander Isak because he's under a long-term deal. But Newcastle United are trying to improve the contract that he's on. I think that's pretty well known. But Collymore said Isak would be a massive upgrade on Nunez. His all-round play is what Liverpool need in a striker. And in my opinion, I think it could benefit Newcastle to take Nunez. There's certainly a player in there, but he's not someone that can handle playing for a club like Liverpool. So again, you're kind of looking at that comment and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute. If he can't handle playing for Liverpool, then what gives you the right to say, oh, send him off to Newcastle? Are we not a club as sort of passionate as Liverpool? No, we're not as successful by any stretch. But we're certainly a massive club when it comes to supporting and where we are going now under our new owners. So could Nunez handle the pressure at Newcastle of being that man that's expected to score week in, week out like Isak does? I don't think he can. And I certainly wouldn't just do a swap deal. I think that would be insane. Newcastle would want cash as well. There is no doubt about that. They'd want cash. Because if we just said, oh, yeah, let's just swap the two strikers, what a load of garbage. No chance. But he did go on to say Newcastle are a really big club, so it would not feel like a massive step down for Nunez. But the important thing is that the pressure would not be as telling. And I think Eddie Howe, who I think will become England manager one day, can make Nunez into the player that many thought he would become at Liverpool. So, you know what? He's sort of, in a way, he's praising Newcastle as well. I just don't like the previous phase when he said that Liverpool is too big of a club for Nunez to handle, but then was very complimentary about Newcastle in the next paragraph. But listen, I don't think that'll happen. I think there's it's a lot of bollocks online and trying to push the narrative here for a move for Isak. We all know that the pundits and Southern press, they'd all love Isak to leave Newcastle United. But look, he's not going anywhere. In my opinion, he's not going anywhere. I think you will find Isak signing a new contract at the end of the season. We as Newcastle United fans will be devastated if he does not stay at Newcastle. Now, could I handle him going abroad? Yes. Could I handle him going to another Premier League team? Bugger me, no. Absolutely not. I would rather shove a rusty razor blade up my anus than watch Isak go and play for another Premier League club. But look, football is a strange game. It can happen. And, we'll just have to wait and see what they do in the summer. But according to the Newcastle hierarchy, he's going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. And talks, if they haven't started, they will start on a new contract and a massive wage for him to stay at the club. So we'll just see what happens. But there you go, guys. Please do leave a comment below as to all the talking points in this video. I do read them all. I can't reply to them all, but I genuinely do read them all. I love hearing your thoughts on everything that I've brought up in the video. So please do leave a comment below. And of course, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. The analytics say that there is a lot of people watch us without subscribing on a consistent basis. So just hit the subscribe button. It is free. It's not going to cost you a penny. And of course, make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you very soon. Take care.